Hello, hello, my green skins, and welcome to another Orc War Chief reviews. And we're doing Alien Month, not the aliens, Alien Month. And today we are talking about They Live, John Carpenter's movies. Hell, we should just start calling my channel the John Carpenter channel at this point.
The John Carpenter Appreciation Channel.
Yeah, because I do plan on doing other John Carpenter movies. Because he did a lot of movies and a lot of movies of Kurt Russell. I actually counted it today. He has like four. So, what did you think of They Live? This movie. What's your first thoughts?
Well, unlike the other movies, well, most of the movies we've watched so far, this is one I've seen beforehand. So this is a movie I like a lot. And
Yeah,
but it's not a movie I watched as a kid. It just never came on. So I properly watched it maybe like 4 years ago, and
yeah.
you know what? Wait, when did Roddy Piper die? Was it 4 years ago? I certainly saw it before that, before he
I
died.
don't remember. I don't actually remember when he passed. Unfortunately, I should know he's from Winnipeg, but and being a Canadian, I should know this information. But I don't remember when he passed. I know that this movie was always interesting to me. I saw this when I was a child because I was a huge wrestling fan. When I found out, Roddy Piper, when I was younger, I was big WCW versus WWF, that era. So to me, when I found out this movie came out, I was like, ooh, I had that high pitch there.
Well,
It was good.
before we talk about the actual movie, let's can we take a minute to discuss wrestlers who become actors? Like, what's your experience with that? Like, is it something you enjoy? Do you think they're good at it,
Other
or is it a case
other
by
than
case?
other than Dwayne Johnston, it's usually a fail. Like Hulk Hogan's not good at it. Triple H is a media. You know what? The funny thing is, Triple H is better when he's like pulling off somebody, but he's not. I gotta say it. Triple H has never been a good actor. Period.
I don't know. I like him in
John
Blade
Cena.
Trinity.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's just not a good actor. Even his stage, he's not good. Like he's mediocre. But he's a good wrestler. He actually is good at menacing. He's good at a walker. He's just not good at acting. Um, Sometimes the wrestlers just play themselves. Like Dwayne the Rock Johnson's a great example of that. Dwayne the Rock Johnson is playing the Rock. Every role he plays, he's playing the Rock. He's good at being a good guy for that. Some
He's
guys
a
are just good at it.
personality.
Some guys aren't. Yeah, he has a personality he's a likable son of a bitch. Like he's a likable son of a that's all you can say. He's likable.
Well,
Shawn Michaels was good at that.
I
I'm
would.
not gonna like Shawn Michaels is a really good at doing that, but he's never been in any real movies. But Shawn Michaels is a likable fuck.
I mean, you do have Suburban Commando, which was enjoyable, surprisingly.
Oh, that's definitely gonna be a reverse controversy on our end because I really hated it.
But
I
Roddy
actually
Piper is was surprisingly good.
he is, but we'll get to him. We'll get to him on that one. Let's break it down to the acting at that point. Um, First, let's break her down to the music. What did you think of the music in this movie?
Oh, it's not memorable. I don't remember any liking anything. There's probably a. I think there was a song in there that played in the background that I liked because
It,
I like '80s rock music, so I'm gonna like it. Give me some good '80s rock, and I'm gonna enjoy it. But as
yeah,
far as background music, like atmosphere music, yeah, nothing stands out. You know,
the theme's still playing in my head. I actually disagree with you there. That down down that
Oh
That
yeah,
freaking
I
song
totally
plays in my
forgot
head.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that is cool.
that theme plays in my fucking head even now. I'll be hearing that when I go to bed today. I'll sit there like reading something, and all of a sudden, like just before I go to bed, I'll be like, "Bah, bah, bah." Like, God damn it, that sticks in your fucking head. That's what makes it good. That sticks in its head. Now let's get to, I guess, do you want to do you want to do the acting last, or do you want to talk about the acting now?
Well,
And we'll go.
let's talk about the acting. I've already.
Okay.
I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, good actors. Roddy Piper was surprisingly good. Someone like John Carpenter, I like. He does thriller slash horror, right? That's his thing.
Yeah, he does a lot of thriller slash horror. I can't actually think of any movie. You know what? I could be wrong because John Carp. I hate to say it, all his movies I like are like the things that people either think is like his grindhouse type movies. Like I call them grindhouse because that's kind of what they got that vibe. I like all his thriller slash horrors.
So
I don't know. Maybe he does have other movies.
So I imagine that someone as well liked and respected, I could be wrong, is largely because he takes the films he makes seriously. He doesn't go out to make mediocre. He goes out to try and make the best
No,
films
yeah,
he can.
He's not James Cameron in that fucking hack.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
know
went
what?
there.
Oh, you went there. I will agree. I will say James Cameron is overrated. Avatar. Anyway,
James Cameron.
but yeah, so you'd think that someone as high profile as I assume he is would not want a wrestler, but the fact that he got Rowdy Roddy Piper shows that is probably indicative that he is a good actor. Because, like I said, someone that respected would not go for mediocrity.
No, no, you know what? John Carpenter. We're looking at John Carpenter. You're looking at John Carpenter after the fact. John Carpenter was hokey before this. He was considered the hokey guy back in the day. Like he was not given the same respect that he's given now. Like
Was he?
now his stuff has become a cult. Now his stuff like Big Trouble Little China. His John Carpenter's the thing. I find a lot of his movies were they made their money, but they weren't like, everyone was talking about him. I never knew who John Carpenter was for a number of years, but I liked all his movies. Quite a few of his movies actually were my unfortunate realization, oh shit, that's John Carpenter.
Well, from my standpoint, I mean, you would expect this movie to be hokey and silly and just a half-assed production, but
It
it
is.
wasn't.
It has its moments, but it's like the Texan's a good example. Um, there are moments, but this movie is good. It's weird also. It has its moments. Like it's interesting on every way. And all the actors were good. Like even the Texan guy. I gotta say it. I'm not a big fan of like I said, there are a couple actors in this that are just bad. Like I'm gonna call her Lady Blue Eyes because that's pretty much what she was. She just had those beautiful, piercing blue eyes. Um, I can't remember the actress's name for the life of me. It was very, very had moments where like the acting went, but no, Roddy Piper shined through. This was his best. I think this was his best acting. I don't think we ever saw him do better acting than that.
Yeah, he carried the movie. Usually, when you have someone like
Yeah.
that as a star, like a wrestler or someone
Mhm.
who's not normally an actor, a personality of sorts, usually get big stars around them to help them carry the movie. But
Yeah.
no, this was Roddy Piper all the way.
This was Roddy Piper all the way, and may God have mercy on someone who fucking tries to remake this one. Screw you, and then the horse you rode in him.
Oh, dude, if anyone even thinks about remaking this movie in any way, they deserve
You
to be
don't
publicly
touch this
castrated.
fucking movie. Stay away from it. Yeah, they should be castrated. Any movie of mine that hits a 9 should not be touched. That tells you what my rating's going to be. So let's get to the CG. What did you think of the CG?
what little CG it had, it's unless you mean
Well,
special effects.
the visual effects in general. I'm just calling it CG just to kind of add,
The the aliens themselves look freaky, but in a good way. It worked for the movie.
everything worked, right? Like
Yeah.
it looked good.
Well, the only thing
It
that did
looked
work
good.
about the aliens is when they talked. They can't really shape their mouth. It was like so. Yeah, it does get a little hokey there, but when they're not talking, they do look menacing.
Yeah. It looked great. It just it had a real good look. Now let's break down the other big bad bababa here. What did you think of that fight scene? There's a fight that like the fight choreography is mediocre at best, but that fight scene,
Dude, I will take a these mediocre fight scenes. Again, I'm gonna be repeating myself over the overly stylized and overly choreographed modern day fighting because at least they're more believable. Nobody is
that looked
throwing
like
1,000 punches and still going and blocking the ball and still going. So
it's
yeah,
gone anime, hasn't it? It really has. Like John Wick, a great example of this is John Wick. As much as I love John Wick, and it's that action packed thing, it is so anime at this point. It's you feel like you're watching an anime the way it's done it. Now that's not saying that's not a bad thing. Great example of this is to not to date this, but uh, Hell of a Boss. It had a one really amazing fight sequence in it recently, and you can do that, but anime does that. They do these fight scenes. A great example of this is the dog fight scene in John Wick 2. It's so stylized. It's like bullshit.
it is. Like everybody now wants to be the Matrix, and the Matrix.
Everyone now wants to be the Matrix, and that's the problem. The Matrix, and that's that overrated. Everyone wants these action sequences. They Live has one of the most dragged down, dirty fucking brawls
It
in
did.
movie history.
It did drag on, but
But that's the point. It was a drag out, dirty brawl. You get in these fights, like when you get in a fight, some of these fights, like a lot of people will say this to you. If you've ever gotten in a real fight, they're not pretty. They're not like, they're not, no, 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 no. You can win a fight with one fucking slap to the face that hits right. You can win a fight by sitting there fighting a guy for like a half hour. Like, and the fight can go nowhere. That fight was so dirty and down low. I liked it. I liked the guy grabbing the fucking guy's balls, the guy kneeing him. Like that was just dirty. That shit was a dirty fight. And that was a great thing about that fight. I love that fight. Okay, you say it drags out too long. Where did you feel that you felt that it was like? Did you like enjoy it all the way through? That's the big question.
yeah. Overall I enjoyed it. It could be shorter a little bit, but again,
I
I'll still take that over everyone's Matrix wannabe style.
Yeah, I don't
Because you know
mind the
what?
Matrix sometimes. Again, the John Wick fights are fun. The John Wick fights, the John Wick one, the John Wick fights that have come out have been good. But it a dirty download fight like that, where it was just this dirty fight. It was so fucking good. You know what? To this day, I think that is a better fight sequence than any fight sequence I've ever seen. Like I think that's more realistic than any fight sequence, and that includes the Chuck Norris Bruce Lee fight. I think that's a more down and dirty fight, and they walk away. They look beat. Like
Well,
they're walking.
the actors
They
certainly
are.
looked the. It certainly took a toll on the actor. They were clearly
Oh,
tired after it.
oh yeah, you can see him walking away, and they're hurt as fucking. It's like I think you broke a couple of my ribs. It's just like yeah, no, it just looks rough. It looks rough, and it was a good fight.
Yeah, it's
It was
rough.
one
It's not overly
hell of a
clean and constant
yeah,
blocking. It's grappling. There's a lot of grappling, a lot of wrestling, just like in real fights.
yeah. I
I mean,
admit they did
yeah,
throw some wrestling moves. They did throw some wrestling moves in, but come on, you have a fucking wrestler. What do you expect?
I
I've
mean,
seen people try to pull off wrestling moves in fights. I actually saw someone try to DDT somebody not too long ago. As I was walking through a park and I saw that. That's a story for another lifetime.
overall, I want to bring in another example. Overall, I like Cobra Kai, minus a couple of elements about it, but that's another subject. But that fight scene where, uh, oh, I forget the boy's name. Miguel, yeah, was fighting the bullies in the first season, like in the
Yeah,
cafeteria. Yeah, even that was bullshit. How he's like
I
moving
know,
around the way he
right?
did. I know. It's so
It,
fake. And I'm seeing
it's
so
so
much
big.
of that. Like,
It is, and that's the thing. Like, I don't mind. Like I said, I don't mind the stylization. I jokingly call it the John Claude style because that's that stylization that John Claude had. One of my favorite movies of all times is Bloodsport, and this had a great fight. Like that's the great thing about this movie. We're just talking about the fight, that one fight. That one fight was that good.
yeah,
If if you're not into John Carpenter's style, and this is a very political movie too. This is actually very political. It's about the social norms and stuff like that.
yeah. Before
It
we get to that, I just want to say this: the the dragging of the fighting is dragging on to this. We're talking about this fight scene still.
Yeah, exactly. That's about this movie. That's one of the greatest fight scenes. Now let's get to the story.
Yeah,
A great story with a lot of hidden shit.
hidden.
It's literally about a man. Yes, it's simple. It's also very simple, but it's getting to a man. It's about a man realizing that he's been betrayed by society.
Yeah, and how
It,
society and major corporations and their now it's not an anti-capitalist movie, but it shows that people need to be aware of any subliminal messaging and not get suckered in.
yeah, people got to stop being fooled. And
Yeah,
like I said, one of my favorite moments in there is when they look at like I said, if you haven't seen this movie or haven't seen parts of this movie, you've probably seen it.
I think
Like
this
they did that
movie
where they
is
had the
this movie is more relevant today than when it came out. That's the odd
oh,
thing.
this movie's been relevant for years. That's the scary thing about this movie. This movie, as a lot of people like to say, this movie isn't deep. It's just a dumb action movie. You didn't watch it. Watch it again. Like when he looks at the money and he sees this is your god. It's true. It really is true how like he actually like a lot of this movie is about that breaking the social norms. Instead of people unifying, the aliens or the corporations are trying to separate. We got people from all like uh, you know people we talk to, the people we meet. I've met lots of people. I've met so many assholes in real life compared to like the asshole, the people that we exist with. We meet, and we meet those few good ones, but we met so many assholes in your life. And it's like, how many of these people believe that that's their god? It's corporations. Like the corporations that just run things that shouldn't have this level of power. Like Facebook. And corporations just have too much information, and they've gathered so much about you, and
Twitter.
like yeah, just too much stuff. And they do gather stuff. Like, it's scary how this movie predicted the future in some ways.
Oh yeah, and it's actually more has happened since then. Now it's like all these billboards with those subliminal messages that he sees through with the glasses. It's like, and how all the
Yeah,
people are actually aliens disguised as humans. My God, imagine
yeah.
if you adapted modern day into this movie. Like, how many of modern celebrities would you see as aliens? I'd say 90% of them.
Oh yeah, it would literally be a lot of aliens would be your celebrity. And actually, they make that joke that it is that a lot of the celebrities are aliens. Makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Like,
Oh yeah.
this was John Carpenter's stab at what he was seeing. Like, this is a political movie. Like, maybe this was being done as a dumb action movie, but I get the vibe that there was something else here. Like this is not Evasion USA, where you know, even though it has its politicalness, it's a dumb action movie.
I would not call it a
This
dumb
act,
action
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
I call
yeah.
modern
This
action
one,
movies dumb.
oh, they are. Like I hate calling them dumb action movies, but that's right. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be enjoyed in that thing. This one has a it has a hidden thing. And it does, if you switch out certain terms, you could do this movie. As much as I think it's blasphemy to ever do this movie again. Like God help the person who's making Dune, because I'll be, I'll be setting the pyre for that individual very shortly. So this movie is a great movie that has such a political spin, and it actually has thought. And
It's
that's
not
the thing about
political.
John.
Just to clarify, it's not political in the sense that you're either Republican or Democrat or
No, no, no.
conservative or
It's
liberal.
not
It's
that
not.
way. It
Yeah.
just shows you the warnings and the fears of a society that is consumed by the almighty dollar. Almost like, that exists in our society. It is a warning. It is a warning. Like the aliens aren't, some people say it's anti-capitalism. And partially it is, partially it isn't though. Partially it's about giving human life a quality.
No, I don't see it as anti-capitalist at all. I think it's just anti-sheep.
I
I
think
mean,
it is too. I think, yeah.
because I don't want to be specific. I'm not going to name uh, parties or individuals, but I think it's kind of ridiculous that we're living in an age where people of voting age need celebrities, especially of actors in certain role from certain famous roles, to tell you who to vote for.
Yeah, like we won't get too political again. This channel is not meant for
Like,
political.
I don't care who you vote
But
for. I'm just saying the idea of needing someone of a high profile pop pop
yeah,
figure
again,
to
again,
tell you what to do is
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. I'm pulling the political reins in. But a movie like this, you can't not get a little political, especially for a movie like this that is legitimately making is a lot more relevant now than it was back then. Another great example of this, another great movie for that is going to be a movie we're going to be doing for Sylvester Stallone month, which we will be doing sometime in the future, hopefully. Um, is Demolition Man, and we'll be doing that one later. And I'll get to that fucking can of worms later. And yeah, no, this movie is great. Like I've sat down with people, watched this movie, and then had a freaking 2 hour conversation about the political situation. And I've done that multiple times with this movie. How can you call this a popcorn movie? Like this movie was, I remember this movie being shot to shit. Oh, it's this, it's that, it's this. No, 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 bullshit. This movie actually is a good action movie that makes you think. John Carpenter's great at doing movies like that. And I like him all around. I think he's like one of my favorite guys for this. So what are you going to rate this one there, Shawnee God?
This is definitely. I'm gonna give this a an 8.
Oh,
Mm,
I'm giving this a 9. Like this is not the thing good, but this is because the thing good. I think the thing can be watched by anybody. This movie might turn people off a little bit.
I don't think so. I think
And
anyone can watch this and enjoy it. I mean,
no, I think
maybe you
some
could enlighten
I
me.
think if you
Who
yeah,
wouldn't like
I
it?
think some people, yeah, I think some people might have a little bit. Like I said, there are scenes in this that are a little risque and a little rapey. But it's just the way this movie there are a couple scenes like I'm not going to get into it, but so there are a couple things that are going to put some people aside. But this movie is great. I think overall, like again, I don't give other people's rating my add to my rating. I'm giving it a 9. It's not thing good. I think the thing again, just simply because the thing is just a far superior movie, especially how it was shot.
The thing was great.
Uh, oh yeah, I told you you'd like that one. So that is our review of They Live. God damn, what good movie. Um, I gotta be honest, we got one more Alien movie, and it's The Last Starfighter. And this one he's never seen before. So we're gonna get a cold cut of that. And then we're probably going to be moving on to doing a old versus new. So there won't be so many videos next month. We'll probably have only like four, maybe 3 videos next, maybe 2 to 3 videos next week because we'll be doing next month. We'll be doing Orphan, old versus new, old Orphan versus new Orphan. So we'll be doing the first seasons of both Orphan. So that's going to take some time.
Oh boy, I don't know if I can finish it all. I mean, I've got so much stuff to watch. I like to watch TV. I like TV.
Hey, you know what? We are at the golden age of entertainment, and I still got to show you some stuff too. There's still quite a few movies. You still haven't seen Big Trouble in Little China yet, have you?
Not yet.
No, and we're gonna be watching. We'll be watching some more later, like probably after Ninja Month. I'm tempted to maybe slate a Big Trouble in Little China in there, just like to squeeze into September. Because put that movie in there because that was and there's some lot of inspiration in that movie. And I want to see if you pick up on it. So that is our review. Like, subscribe, share. We want to get up to 100 subs, so we can finally do some gooder. A couple other things. We're planning on doing a big thing for the 100th video if we 100 subs if we get there. And yeah, I hope you guys have a very, very good day. And we will chat back with you guys in the next review. Last Starfighter. Have a good one.
Well, I guess I'll just take my leave because I came here to review They Live and Kick Ass. And I just finished reviewing They Live.